does this take a big bite out of Impact? Does this really just shove Impact down even further than they already are? Or are they going to stay about the same? What do you think?
I was prepared to answer no, but then I thought about it, and
Yeah.
I think it's going to be now because the gag was going to be no. I was like, no, it doesn't hurt Impact at all. I actually think it kind of does. I think
Yeah.
that this hurts Impact's ability to draw free agent talent.
That's what it is. So when AEW came around, Ring of Honor was already a thing, right? MLW was a thing again. NWA was coming back. So Impact had its place, and it was somewhere around that Ring of Honor level, right? Once AEW was created, Ring of Honor went down quite a bit. But Impact was kind of right there, and Impact and Ring of Honor were competing for talent. And then when Ring of Honor went away, you saw this big boost to Impact where they had the Honor No More guys come in. They had Jonathan Gresham at one point. It looked like he was going to be around for a little bit. And things started to look up for them. But with Ring of Honor getting back to the stability, right, and becoming an entity, and we just saw it. OGK is on Ring of Honor. It's probably going to be on Ring of Honor TV. They already got the Briscoes out from Impact. So a lot more talent going to go back there. And now Triple H is signing back up all the people that they fired. Now we're starting to see is like, oh, why does Impact have Bully Ray on the show? Why do they have PJ Black coming back? Well, it's because Ring of Honor and WWE and AEW, they're signing up all this free agent talent. And Impact only has the budget for so many people under contract. That's why they have all these people on these these short-term 6-month deals where they're only getting paid per appearance is because they can't afford to have them be paid full time. They can't afford to give everybody the moose money. You know what I mean? They can't afford that. So they have everybody on these short-term deals. And if at 6 months they want to continue, they can, they keep going. And if not, it's like, okay, go do something else for a while, go get signed, go do whatever you want. And we'll get somebody else in here for bare minimum dollar to kind of play their trade.
And I keep maintaining that, like, I think there's a law of diminishing returns if you keep bringing in these former WWE guys who might be a little past their place, or like a guy like Cardona, where you're just going to grossly underutilize him compared to what he's doing in other places. Like, it's the Bully Ray, Heath, and Rhino is like, I know Heath's really over, but having them as featured acts at this point, when you're losing so many guys, it just puts a bad taste in the mouth that we've seen in other promotions where you go with guys that are past their prime, there's really good guys in the indies still who aren't signed anywhere. There's Jake something still floating around out there. There are guys that you go to look at any GCW show. Like, there's good talent on those shows that are in a bad promotion. I'll say it. It's a bad promotion.
Mance Warner. We brought up Jordan Oliver last week, but and our friend Brad reached out to me and said that he, just speaks the world of Jordan Oliver. He's met him several times. It's his kid's favorite wrestler, and then how Jordan Oliver has really transformed himself, looking great. But Mance Warner was a guy who I thought was going to end up being a big star, and I thought he was on the cusp of it, getting released from MLW. Then he broke his leg, and he got brought into AEW. They did one match with him, but we haven't seen him since then.
No, like Moxley match too.
Yeah, he's a guy that I think Impact should really take a flyer on and bring in.
Manders, I would even take a chance with Justice, right?
Yeah. Matthew Justice. Yeah, he's got a great look. He's kind of a crazy fucker too. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Those second tier crew guys, they're all good. Yeah. Like, I don't get why you don't give those guys a crack. Like, I mean, is it just because they don't have that main level that like WWE level experience? Like, again, the problem with your New Japan deal is your New Japan is always going to be your second option for the New Japan guys. They're going to go to AEW, look to go to AEW first, and then go to Impact. So I don't know if that's a great move either,
Oh, I got it. And people are going to call me crazy for this. And maybe I am crazy.
I'll call you
so crazy. And I'm not saying they need to stop working with New Japan, because they don't. And I like seeing the New Japan guys come in. They need to start working with Noah again, because Noah's on the upswing here. Noah's putting on really good shows. They're owned by a very stable company, a very wealthy company. The production value that they have is second to none. They put on great performances. They're a lot of the wrestlers are way over the hill, but goddamn, do they have a lot of great young talent too that they're mixing in and they're bringing up. Kaito Kiyomiya, Inamura, Masakita Miya, Nakajima. Ken-O is insanity, dude. He is great. Like, if Eddie Edwards really wants to, do something different in his career, maybe he's like, fuck it. and go. He's brought up Noah during Bound for Glory. Bring in a couple of Noah guys and start a different faction, or bring in Congo and do some stuff with those guys. You know what I mean? If you stay heel, bring in some Congo guys and go with that, man. But I would like to see them bring back the Noah talent that they used to bring in a long time ago and really focus on that relationship a little bit more.
You know how I feel about pro wrestling Noah. I have a complicated, because like, and this is probably why I fear the Bully Ray thing so much, is because I lived through the last 2 years of pro wrestling Noah, where Nassau Rangai brought in all these old pukes that are way over the hill, and like it's hurt in ways. But what's good now is that they've taken all these old guys and they're starting to use them more efficiently. There's still way too many old dudes in way too many positions of power. And I'm willing to revise this statement after October 30th when Ironhead Fujita wrestles Kaito Kiyomiya. I'm scared. They got me nervous.
What did you say to me in a conversation with the pastor, by the way? JD said to me, and I said, we talked about Noah, and I was like, oh, be careful there, because Fujita might actually beat Kiyomiya, and JD said, fuck you.
I did. I said that in a conversation with a pastor. Yes,
with a pastor,
and I stand by that. By the way, don't put that. You put that bad juju in the world, and now, I mean, they finally made Kaito Kiyomiya. They finally. It took them 3 years because he was world champion in 2019, and they spent the last 2 years trying to rebuild him. He did this whole like protege arc with Muto, and it's a little hard to watch sometimes because Muto says he's not going to retire now, by the way. Like coming to AEW, like revitalized love for wrestling. I'm shocked that Muto is not actually retiring.
Yeah, but Muto, Terry Funk, Muto. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I'll tell you this, though. Keno, Nakajima, Kiyomiya, Yoshiki Inamura, Masakita Miya. These dudes are so freaking good. And a lot of American fans don't realize it. And AEW does have a relationship with Cyber Agent because they do a lot of stuff with DDT. DDT is a sister company of Noah, as is Tokyo Joshi Pro. So AEW does a lot of work with those two companies. But the only thing they've done with Noah was bring in Muto that one time. Like,
and that wasn't really a deal with Noah. That was Muto.
Muto and Sting.
Yeah,
because Muto and Sting had that long relationship. I think that bringing in some of these guys would revitalize, and I think some of these talents in Noah would benefit greatly from coming to the United States and working here for a little bit. Yoshiki Inamura, as a guy I've been saying for 3 years, is almost ready to be a dude, and he's kind of stagnated. I think if you brought him here and had him gave him some matches with Eddie Edwards and Moose and those type of guys, Sammy Callahan, I think it could really work. And clearly, it's not going to piss off New Japan that much because everyone at AEW loves Konosuke Takeshita, right?
Yeah.
Who's a DDT guy.
Yeah. Well, and not only that, New Japan just recently did a show with Noah. Yeah. And Tanahashi is doing another show with Noah where it's actually going to be a New Japan versus Noah in the main event of the upcoming Dome show. What is it called? I can't remember the name of the dome that they're doing, but it's here in a couple weeks on October 30th. No, it's Akiagi or something like that. God, what the hell is the name of it? Justin, help! But it's the old Olympic place that they were doing. It's called the Akagi or something like that.
No. I think that would be great. I think that would be absolutely great. If you could even reach out to All Japan and get like, Jake Lee or Kiyomiya, or Miyahara, or like Shotaro Ashino, maybe some of those guys. Those are also real good dudes who are floating under radar right now. Like they just need to expand their reach a little bit. Right. And there's tons of good Mexican talent that they could bring in. There's tons of good
Lee. Dragon Lee is not anywhere. And this kid Commander, I saw some of his stuff from AAA. John Muse is telling us about him.
Commander's
awesome,
the real man.
Obviously, he's got his visa. He's in the States now. He's doing some stuff. So those guys. And I just wanted to go back to Noah really quick.
Oh, please.
Yoshiki Inamura, day one on American television, he's going to get over. Day one. Not kidding. That guy is incredible. I love the big meaty dudes. Like this is a big meaty dude, but he's like a legit dude and he can fucking go.
Do you know who he reminds me of? Big E.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, that's a great comparison. That is a great comparison.
He's
Yeah.
Japanese Biggie, and like
Yeah.
he's got a personality. He's a sumo trained guy, but he's not what you think of when you hear the term sumo. He's just a
Right.
big, thick dude who's insanely strong, does some really cool stuff, and had the unfortunate task to have to sell the worst Muto backspring elbow of all time. But what
Yeah.
are you gonna do? He wasn't gonna not sell for Muto. Like Jim goes, he should have smacked Muto in the face. Yeah, okay, that'd have been a
Yeah.
career killer for him. Like like I love this dude. I love Keno. If Keno could be such a star here, I think, because he's such a dick, right?
Yes.
And he's so
Not.
serious. Like he's not a
Mhm.
Nakajima dick, because Nakajima's like a prick. Like he's like you get this smirk look on your face, and he'll kick you in your head.
Nakajima has a shit-eating grin on his face
Yes,
all
the
the
whole
time, and
time.
then he kicks your head off. Yeah.
Yeah, whereas Keno will kick your head off, but he'll do it with his stone face, and he's so serious. But you can like laugh at him because he's so serious about things. And like
Mhm.
he plays this great straight man where he's so serious that it's funny. And other times it's like he's scary. He's so serious. He's super versatile. Like
Yeah.
these are
And
dudes that
we
I think, yeah,
and we talked about it earlier in the chat when Bill Pritchard from WrestleZone basically said that Bill Goldberg had no charisma, and I disagreed
bullshit.
completely. Bill Goldberg had tons of charisma, but his charisma was physical,
Physical
right?
charisma.
Physical charisma. Bill Goldberg was never really. Bill Goldberg was an effective promo, but he was not what you would call a great promo. You can't go back and say, "Oh, my favorite Goldberg promo is this," because it's not what he did.
No.
He was kind of a bad motherfucker, and he would run out of words quick and kick your ass. But his physical charisma was off the charts. Now I'm not comparing the two, but the reason why I bring that up is Keno has physical charisma
Yes.
that would translate to the American audience, right?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you don't need to know everything about him to when you see him on the screen to where you can buy into this guy, right? As this evil guy. You see that in your first time watching Keno in a match, you're going to know a lot about him just by his physical charisma and the match that he has. He's incredible.
So the reason why the Great Muta is fondly remembered in this country, where Hakushi and the Great Kabuki are not as much, is Keiji Muto's physical charisma.
Yes. Yeah, because it's not that he does a handspring elbow, it's how he does the handspring elbow. It's not his elbow drop, it's because the way he twists and then snaps it down, the elbow drop. You remember that stuff.
And between the moves, when Muto would like do this kind of crazy pantomiming to the crowd, they would eat it up. Like he was an incredible physical performer that
Yeah.
transcends language. And I truly believe Keno can be that guy over here. And same with Nakajima. All you gotta do is look at Nakajima's face, and like Nakajima doesn't really have to say anything. You just look at the guy, you're like, that guy's a dick. Right?
Yeah.
Like you just know
Yeah.
that shit-eating grin on his face. He would probably legitimately try to kill someone over here because he gets bored and tries to hurt people. Like,
And that's probably
for real.
hurting his bookings in the States, honestly.
Big time. But I could I'm
Yeah.
I'm fantasy booking right now with my favorite
Yeah.
guys. So I love this idea. I really Scott D'Amore should have a pipeline to the two of us, because these are the guys he should be talking to right now.
Well, Scott D'Amore partially trained Kiyomiya. Like he has like a connection there. Yeah, yeah. Kiyomiya spent like on excursion. He went to Border City Wrestling, and Scott D'Amore openly talked about that whenever there was a relationship in the past between Noah and Impact Wrestling. They actually had like a partnership where they were sending Bone Soldier. What's his Taiji Ishimori. Sorry. Ishimori used to come over all the time. Marufuji would come over all the time. And then Kiyomiya was one of the guys that I thought was going to come over, but he never did make it over there. But yeah, he went to Scott D'Amore's Wrestling Academy for a time early in his career.
That is a kid that I don't know how he would do over here.
He would struggle.
He would struggle, I think, too, because he doesn't have that physical charisma. There's something about Kiyomiya, but he's still really finding himself. They've been trying to make him a thing for a long time. Like they tried to make him their Okada too young, and it really hurt him. I think that Shiazaki's physical charisma would really help him over here. And there's a lot of good dudes in that company. You can bring some of those old guys. As much as I get on Ironhead Vegeta, he has insane physical charisma.
Well, and he would, because especially like if he were to come like to Las Vegas this weekend, given his Pride background, like it would be great, right? Like
it would be awesome. Yes,
Yeah, he
hundred
yeah.
percent.
Obviously Sakuraba would, people go
Oh
crazy for
yeah,
Sakuraba, and they I know that Kojima is over there. He's already worked Impact. I think he's kind of a New Japan guy, but he's really more of a Noah guy now. He
he's
kind of goes
well,
back and forth.
he's a New Japan guy working in Noah. Noah's been leasing guys out. They leased Yuji Nagata to All Japan. Like no, like
Yeah.
Japan's a weird place, man, where like they actually care about the state of the business over there more so than just, their own stake of it. Because I believe that Tiger Mask 4 has been over in All Japan too a little bit. And I don't think they've sent anybody to Dragon Gate. Dragon Gate's a different place altogether. But I mean, these are guys that I really think that the American audience is unfamiliar with, and it breathes new blood into your scene, right? And
Right.
yeah, you're not going to get the initial pop that you're going to get with like an Ishii, right? But I mean, there's a law of diminishing returns, right? Because you're not going to get Okada here. We're not going to get Tanahashi here.
No.
So why not do something different? Because again, AEW, like I said, they're going to bring Konosuke Takeshita back, and that's a DDT
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, yeah. So everybody's working with everybody outside of the WWE system, so might as well.